The first thing you do when you step onto a tube platform is look up the departure board. You trust it's right. Wrong! What if I told you that 1 minute on the Northern Line isn't the same as 1 minute on the Central or even the Circle Line? Today I'll be putting these countdown boards to the test. Let's go.
We're starting off here at Moorgate on the Northern Line. I've got a dot matrix indicator right behind me, and today we're going to be timing the time it takes for it to go from 1 minute to 0 to when it enters the threshold of the platform until it opens the doors, and see how accurate it really is. Okay, so the next train's 2 minutes away. From as soon as it shows 1 minute, we'll start the timer. There we go.
Train approaching will require all station to everyone. For your own safety, stand aside, letting passengers of the train first.
1 minute, 16 seconds. The train seemed to be about just over a third of the way down the platform by the time it hit a minute. So I can clearly say the Northern Line, very accurate, down to 16 seconds. I'm pretty sure everyone can be happy with 16 seconds. Gonna now take the Northern Line down to Bank, and we're going to go and see the other lines, such as the Central, because I have a feeling that the Central isn't going to be quite as accurate. So let's go.
Close indoors.
Right, I made it to Bank. We're going to time the White City train, which is in 2 minutes. And it's just ticked down to 1 minute. The timer has started. We're actually timing the next train that's coming through. So if this is going to be accurate, this train has to leave and the next one has to pull in within 30 seconds, which is not going to happen. That train's left. We're already on a minute. So 1 minute on the Central Line is actually nearly 2 minutes. Of course that could be down to the train being in front, however it should have just said 2 minutes if there was another train in front. So all things considered, it is not accurate at all. It should say 2 minutes. Let's go and do the long walk to Monument to see... It's so loud. To see if the subsurface lines, which I'm doing all in one go, are more accurate than the Central, or maybe even more accurate than the Northern Line as well. So let's go and find out. Welcome to the Subsurface Line platforms. Once again, timing the Barking train in 2 minutes. There we go. Let's see how long it takes for this train to leave. The train in that direction is coming before. What is this? Oh, here it comes. 2 minutes 46 seconds. Sorry, but that is actually quite abysmal. That is nearly 3 minutes when it went down from 1 minute. There wasn't even a train in front, which means unlike the Central Line, it doesn't have quite as good an excuse. I'm still counting the Central Line one because with the Central Line, these boards should still be accurate during rush hour. They should be able to determine when the train is in front and then adjust accordingly, but it doesn't seem like they're that clever, these boards, considering nearly 3 minutes. Oh, if it said 2 minutes, I think I would have been okay, but 3, that's quite unacceptable. Anyway, we're going to head on to the next line because we're doing all the subsurface as one because they all use the same system. So, the next line, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to decide now. But I'll see you at the next line. Let's go.
The next station is Clapham. Change for the Jubilee line. Once the gap between the train and the platform.
Well, you can probably tell what line I'm going to do next, and it's the Jubilee line. Now, this one's going to be interesting. It has platform edge doors, not screen doors, edge doors. Only the Elizabeth line has platform screen doors. So, in theory, we should be faster in and out of the station, which means less delays, which means the boards are more likely to be accurate. So let's see if that is the case and head down to the Jubilee line. Oh, we're right at the front.
Jubilee line, the next train to Stratford will arrive in 2 minutes.
Okay, so it's... Oh, and we're straight away off. So it's just switched down to 1 minute. The Jubilee line takes the lead. That is 4 seconds more accurate than the Northern line. And with that, we're going to do the Victoria, Piccadilly, then we're going to go and do the Bakerloo after. So we're going to go and do those now. Let's go. We'll go for the one in 3 minutes. To Walthamstow Central, even though they're all going to Walthamstow Central. Okay, it's on 1 minute now. If a message pops up, I'm going to count it from the time it first displays 1 minute, which was after the message. Because I don't think there's another way to do it, because it's going to say train approaching every single time. But anyway, it's not seeming like it's going to hit the target anyway of 1 minute. I mean, it might. I don't think it's going to be the Jubilee though, because this train's got 42 seconds and it's going now, so it's got 10 seconds for the next train to pull in the platform. That ain't happening, I'll tell you that now. I would count that as accurate, but anyway, we're off to the Bakerloo. Finger is on the button, ready to go. I was not expecting that actually. I was actually expecting the Bakerloo to be one of the least accurate, but it turns out it's not the most accurate, it's not the second most accurate, but it's more accurate than the Victoria line. Anyway, we'll get on to the next line. Okay, it's down to a minute. It's a good sign that this train's now leaving. And it's into third place, I think. I think it might be third or fourth. I'm going to head to the Waterloo City line and we will discuss the results there. And we have made it to the Waterloo and City line. The line with no countdown displays because they don't know when the next train's coming. It is time for the part you've been waiting for, the results. In first place we have the Jubilee line at 1 minute 11 seconds. I can accept that. No, that is actually very good, it's very accurate. Second place, the Northern line at 1 minute 16 seconds. Third place, very close behind, the Piccadilly at 1 minute 17 seconds. Then we've got a bit of a gap to the Victoria at 1 minute 33 seconds. Starting to get a bit further away from 1 minute now, aren't we? Central line, 1 minute 52. That's starting to get more towards 2 minutes than 1 minute, to be totally honest. Should probably say 2. And the absolute abomination as it is, the subsurface lines at the Circle, Hammersmith City, Metropolitan, and the one I'm forgetting, Hammersmith City. Have I said that one? I don't know. Subsurface lines, 2 minutes 46. That's nearly 3 minutes when it said 1 minute on the board. Now that is the only one that I'd say is absolutely unacceptable. So yes, the boards are very accurate, but why do they have the differences? Well, I'll go into a voiceover me to go and explain that. So let's go.
Now these boards work off the signalling system. The oldest signalling system use track circuits or axle counters to detect where the train is, but today we'll be focusing on the track circuits. These are used on the Bakerloo and Piccadilly lines. When a train enters a signalling block, the position of the train is taken. This is then interpreted by the arrival system and it is placed on the board, giving a countdown based on the average time it takes from the train to get from that one block to the station. This, however, can become inaccurate as obviously if a train is in front, the train behind will not be travelling at the average speed. It will have to slow down for the train in front. And these systems, because they're so old, don't normally account for the trains being in front. This can cause them to become inaccurate if the train isn't going at the exact speed that is set to. This means if the signal blocks are more spread out, the arrival time will be less accurate than the ones that are closer together, since the length of section blocks can differ depending on the line speed and how many trains are expected to go through the tunnel at a time. Moving on to the computer-based systems such as communications-based train control, transmissions-based train control and distance-to-go radio, which are used on the variety of lines that are displayed below. The difference between these systems is just the way that the information is transmitted from the train to the signalling system. Therefore, they all fall under communications-based train control. In these systems, they take the speed of the train using the odometer and also GPS-based, and then transmit that to the signalling system, which then creates an approximation for how long it takes for the train to arrive. These systems are a lot newer and should be able to dynamically change the departure screen depending on if there is a train in front. These also allow trains to run closer together, so unlike the previous system where a train would have to stop and get going, which will take time for the train to accelerate, the trains can continue at a slower speed but keep moving, which creates faster journey times. And the final system is CPTC on the central line, which is just a complete mess and it can't seem to work out what the time is at all, which is why it is inaccurate even though it uses the same but older type of CPTC. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I provided a good, simple explanation. I didn't want to go too much into details. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!